So if you've ever struggled with eczema or psoriasis, then you already know my struggle. Dry, itchy patches that seem to show up and leave behind hyperpigmentation that seems to never go away. Imagine everything that I'm talking about happening on your face. My name is Synovia and I'm a licensed esthetician and lash artist. And my eczema journey is the reason why I even got into the skincare industry in the first place. I like to think of myself as a change agent that helps others redefine what confidence looks like and what wellness looks like, even with inflamed skin conditions like acne, eczema, or psoriasis. In this video, I'm going to dive into a more personal part of my journey, how I've been healing my skin, but also my body from inflammation and hyperpigmentation. I'm actually going to take you through some of the products that I'm using right now to this day that's actually helping me on my journey. So if that's something that you're into, then let's dive in. I now understand that back in the day, I had a whole skincare routine that only calmed my inflammation. It didn't address the root of the problem, and that was where I messed up. So I used to use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. My favorite was the peppermint and the lemongrass. For exfoliation, I used the black soap that I used to get from the Harlem Market. If you know, you know, it has charcoal in it. So it really gave me a nice clean feeling, but you cannot use that every day because it will be too drying for the skin. And to this day, I use Lubriderm lotion. I stayed away from perfumes. So I'm not even just talking about perfumes in my lotions or my soaps. I'm talking about even down to the ones that you spray. If I wanted a scent, I would use like the African soap from the market and I would dab that onto my clothes and I would just keep it pushing. And that worked for me for a while until my corporate America job stressed me out. I started drinking coffee, I started not sleeping, and all of that affected my inflammation on my hands, which now I understand that it was the driving force for the inflammation in my body. Please note that I love a cappuccino, so I was drinking a whole lot of milk twice a day, not sleeping, dehydrated my body, and not replenishing my body with water because you actually need hydration and you actually need moisture in your body. Just understand these were the conditions that my body was under. I did not have enough time to even wash my clothes. I used to get my clothes delivered and dropped off to the office. That's how much I was working. I'm talking about 65-hour weeks. Like, it was insane. I did not have time to go to the doctor, let alone a dermatologist, to figure out what was going on with me. Now, my eczema got to the point where it affected my job. I could not open up my hands like this. The scarring and the inflammation on my hands, it made it difficult for me to do everyday tasks like wash dishes and even shower. COVID was horrible, but for me, it forced me to sit my behind down and figure out what the heck was going on with my body. I tuned in unlike ever before, and I started watching like a lot of documentaries on diet and something in one of those documentaries, and I really wish that I remember what it was, but something in those documentaries said something about how milk was produced in the USA, and I cut out milk. When I cut out milk, my hands got significantly better to the point where I could not ignore that milk was one of the driving factors to my hands breaking out. I started going crazy, okay? I started cutting out milk, cheese, butter, eggs. I even stopped eating meat for like 2 years, y'all. Doing all of this made my eczema subside a little bit to the point where I can get back to my day to day activities. Like, it was on my hands and it was in the creases of my body, but it did not hit my face just yet. I started going to conferences, and I remember this one time I went to a conference and they served us food, and I remember these mashed potatoes. These mashed potatoes was so good. They served them the whole 3 days I was there, and I was gobbling them up. Now, the last day, I realized that they said creamy mashed potatoes. During the second day of my trip there, I realized little tiny bumps, but I kind of ignored it because if you have sensitive skin, harsh water will affect and cause those little tiny bumps, but they eventually go away. But these bumps was different. They had heat to them and I was concerned, okay? When I saw creamy mashed potatoes. I realized that I was intaking milk or some type of heavy cream, which is a more concentrated version of milk, every single day for like 3 or 4 days. When I got back to my office, I realized that the psoriasis that I had on my body came to my face. It should be noted that I'm an ingredient whore. So I don't really follow what a product is advertising. I look at the ingredients on that bottle and I actually go through the ingredients and see if what they put in that product aligns with what my skin concerns are. These EFA pills have been a game changer for me. Okay, what it does is it strengthens my acid mantle so that I can indulge in some of the foods that I like. I'm a sweets person, so I love a good cake. More importantly, if you know, you know, Doc's Bakery is one of my favorite places to go. But their red velvet cake has cream cheese filling that, I'm gonna be quite honest, I don't think I'm ever gonna give up. I take a little piece of the frosting and a little piece of the cake and I blend it in my mouth and it just feels so great. I absolutely love it. And guess what? I would break out on my face something horrible if it wasn't for these essential fatty acids. The next thing I want to talk about is Dermalogica's Ultra Calming line. I don't care what nobody says. Dermalogica's Ultra Calming line is the only thing I can use when I have an eczema breakout on my face. One thing I like is that it has colloidal oatmeal in all three of those products. I remember when I was younger, my mom used to give me these oatmeal baths, and it used to feel so soothing on my skin. So the fact that these products have colloidal oatmeal, that was the reason why I bought it. I had no idea that it would work so well. I stopped using these products once I got the DMK line, but when I broke out with eczema, well, psoriasis on my face, it was the only thing that I can use. Like, it was so crazy. All of the vegan products, all of the herbal products that I have, and nothing worked better than the Dermalogical Ultra Calming line. So now that you've calmed your inflammation and it's time to move on to the next step, I'm going to say peptides is going to be your best friend. My favorite is the Face Reality antioxidant peptide serum and the DMK super serum. Now, please note, DMK is a more concentrated formulation. So your skin needs to get used to the ingredients in their products before even using it. So I always tell people, start off with the Face Reality brand, start off with your Dermalogica brand, and then move up to DMK because they just have a higher concentration of stuff and you just don't want to irritate your skin at this point. So I love these because it really works hand in hand with building your acid mantle and hydrating the skin. Peptides, I like to use them for hydration and antioxidant benefits. It's amazing for that. And these two products still do me justice every single time. Okay, so now we have to address hyperpigmentation because this whole time I've been talking about eczema and calming it and hydrating the skin, but now you can use actives. The biggest mistake that I find people are making is using actives on their skin without strengthening their skin barrier and without hydrating their skin barrier. If you have a retinol in your skincare routine and you don't have a hydrating serum, I'm sorry, you're doing more harm than good. The biggest mistake that I see my clients making is coming into my office and not having a hydrating serum in their routine, but they have a retinol. They have an exfoliating scrub, but they don't have nothing to hydrate their skin or they don't have nothing that's building their acid mantle. That is going to for sure set your skin up for failure in the long run. Once you've built your skin health up, then you start using a retinol or your vitamins A and C. Okay, so the three that I absolutely love, and again, you don't have to do all three. Again, I've been doing this for years. So I just go and switch back and forth between products at this point. I'm going to say the Biolumin C. This is a new product that just came out. Clock it. I love the immediate results from this one. This is a vitamin C that's going to help brighten up your overall skin tone. Then I have DMK, remember, a more concentrated formulation. This has multiple forms of stable vitamin C. Multiple forms of stable vitamin C. in this little thing. I mean, just one pump just will go a long way. DMK's Millenotech Drops is like a concentrated formulation of kojic acid. If you don't know about kojic acid, then kojic acid is a natural skin brightener, not lightener, okay? We love our melanin and we're not trying to bleach it. But that product there is literally going to be a game changer. Is what you put on before you put on your serums. You use it at night to really address some of your hyperpigmentation, and it acts more like a targeted product for your hyperpigmentation. Last but not least, Revitazine is a retinol lotion that you can even use when you have sensitive skin. For a long time, I was scared to use a retinol because I'm like, oh, my skin is too sensitive. I'm not trying to play around with it. I'm not taking no chances. But when I finally found a formulation that was not more of a serum, it was more of a lotion, I believe that is why my skin can handle this. Now, you do not want to do this when you have inflamed eczema. Absolutely not. But this is a product that is going to work hand in hand with your vitamins A and C products to help lift that hyperpigmentation overnight. Now, healing didn't just come from these products. I had to address other things in my life too, like my diet, my stress, my sleep, my hydration. And since you made it to the end of this video, I'm going to throw in something I recently started doing that's been helping my body from inflammation, which is IV drip therapy. I actually started doing this about 3 months ago, and I would get my hydration bag and I would get shots of vitamin D and zinc. I actually posted a reel about this, so you can kind of check that out on my Instagram reel. I'll try to put it in this video, but IV drip therapy has been one of those add-on things that I feel is taking my healing to the next level. If you're on your own healing journey with your skin, I see you. I really, really see you. Be patient with yourself, be patient with your skin, and be patient with the process. If you're not sure where to start, then you can actually take my personalized skincare quiz. If this video helped you, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.